Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Comic Channel Origins. My name's Bryant, and today I have the honor and privilege of interviewing Pete from Rennavision. So let me go ahead and bring Pete on in here. Hey, Pete, how are you doing today?
Not too bad. Not too bad. How you doing?
Pretty good. I love the Snake Eyes hat that you're wearing.
It is one of my favorites. I've been searching to get a backup because once this thing starts getting like sweat stains, I'm worried I can't replace it. But I just kind of wear it here. I don't wear it out anymore.
Oh, no, I completely understand. I had those hats too. They're specifically for dress, basically.
Yeah, I got a whole wall full of new era hats that I've picked up over time because I just like wearing hats. But this is definitely a favorite.
I like the Snake Eyes Purple Rain t-shirt.
I actually had this made.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. And I think I got all your information down below on the Instagram and the YouTube. So everybody that's watching or that will be watching, because we got one person in here right now, but people will be joining in. But I mean, is there anything you want to say or tell us quickly about Rennavision? Well, okay, I'll ask you a quick question.
Sure.
Do you work for CBSI or you own CBSI or how?
CBSI is more of a clubhouse. It's the best way that I can kind of put it. It's always kind of been that way. Ben Mellow Fellow, people who do whatnot, he owns CBSI, and I've just been writing there for years now. I mean, that's actually I've been doing that longer than the YouTube stuff I've been writing for over there.
Okay, I think I've actually follow Mellow Fellow. I know I've heard that name on Whatnot before.
Yep. That's Ben. Yeah, he's owned it for the last several years now. There was a different owner when it first started, and then Ben bought the site from him, and then eventually they started looking for more writers, and I tried out one of their contests. I lost, but I still and they were like, "Hey, if you want to write, just let me know what you're thinking." I was like, "Well, I'm still up for it," and then I started dollar bin digging.
Okay.
Here I am.
And then you quit your full-time job and now you just write and do content for CBSI and YouTube.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, by no means. I mean, and that's the other thing, the misconception with CBSI. The people are like, "Oh, you work for there." It's like, it's all free. Like, no one is paid. The stuff to keep the site going barely keep it going. And I know the ads can be a pain for a lot of people because it's ads, but that's what keeps the site free for everybody, because otherwise how do you think it gets paid for? Like, no one's making money off of that.
Yeah, very true.
Our time, and the few of us that still write over there, it's just our little hobby. We just like it.
Awesome. All right, well, Kingdom and Nerds has popped in to say hello.
Bruce.
Hey Bruce, thank you for being here. All right, well, let's get started real quick because I know you're a very busy man and that, but what inspired you to start your comic book YouTube channel? And for everybody in the chat or that will be watching, please tell us what your very first video it was, but I want you to know I did watch that this week.
I actually don't remember. I remember it was I think it was a dollar bin digging, but I don't remember what number or.
It was not a dollar bin one.
It wasn't? Oh, up that I did first. See, that's the thing. I can't even remember.
It was a J. Scott Campbell mystery box.
Ah, the mystery. That's right. It was the mystery box opening. That was the first thing I did.
Yes.
That's right. And then I decided to try to do dollar bin digging as videos, and many, many mistakes made along the way.
Well, I can tell you that from watching the very first one, I will say that you seem very polished for even being a brand new YouTuber. Like, you've had some experience in some type of talking in front of anything, or
I don't know why, because I actually don't like. I mean, now I don't mind it. Like, at work, I can do presentations and things like that. But back when I started this, no, I didn't like speaking up. I just kind of like did my own thing, keep my head down, and just kind of grind things out. But for some reason, when I talk about things I like, I mean, I just get to talking. It doesn't matter if there's anybody here or not. That's why I do so many shows by myself. I'll just go. Pretend I'm talking.
you had the gift of the gab, I guess, and so it did seem pretty natural from what I saw. I was like thinking he probably had some experience in some type of speaking beforehand.
Yeah, nah, I tried. I mean, I think I did a few little things over on the Tales from the Flip Side, which is a channel I started on because that
Okay.
channel was tied in with CBSI way back in the day, and yeah, I would help those guys out a lot with like doing their graphics and like I made like a lot of the logos for the shows over there, and I would just do a lot of that kind of because I also like doing that, like building the decks and building logos and stuff like that,
Okay.
graphic kind of art. Like I don't know, I don't mind it. I kind of have fun, kind of doing that stuff. So I did a lot of that stuff, and then I started doing my own little shows eventually over there, and then time came. I just kind of needed to do my own thing.
So, do you remember what your second video was? And I can tell you it was not
That's why I
Dollar Bin
thought it was
Diving
a
yet.
Dollar Bin. It wasn't Dollar. See, I thought it was Dollar Bin. That was the first like show that I tried to do on my own because I was writing, I was writing the Dollar Bin article over at CBSI because I know I tried to do a show for that, and I know I tried to do a show for Usual Suspects, but I thought that came later. The pickups it was again something I saw people doing, so I was like, well, I'll do the MJ Scott Campbell video.
It was what most YouTubers do, and it was a CGC unboxing video.
Oh, there you go. That's why. I think that's why I did the J. Scott Campbell thing. I was like, hey, people were doing these unboxing things. Let me try that.
I mean, I still have not yet done a CGC unboxing yet, but I have never submitted anything to CGC yet. So I
haven't for years. It's literally been years since I've submitted anything. It's expensive. It's expensive. Oh, yeah. It's a lot of work.
I have a box sitting right over there that is ready to go whenever I want to pull the trigger, but it's the expensive part of it. I know that box probably cost me $600 to.
Yeah, yeah. Especially now the prices keep going up. But I know books I'd like to submit, but now it's a matter of now I got to find them, and nobody. I always say that. Excuse me. I always say this on my shows that you can't see this room, but I'm literally in like a hoarder's comic book room. Like I can touch long boxes without getting out of this chair because there's no other place to put them. But what's in those boxes, I can't remember.
So everything's at arm's reach. It's kind of hard to pick up out of the chair.
Yeah. Like I got boxes here. There's boxes right there. Filing cabinet behind me. 10 boxes on top of it. I added extra floor supports to my crawl space to make sure that this weight doesn't like bow or mess up my hardwood floors. So I got the joists down there.
Going all in, aren't you?
I just got to protect the house.
Yeah. Bar Lord said, if you have a presser, odds are they can take care of sending it to CGC for you.
I don't have a presser. I tried it myself.
Okay.
I've screwed up a book or two trying it myself. I know I ruined at least one of those Thanos, the Albuquerque covers, the first Cosmic Ghost Rider. I messed one of those up. And what else did I mess up? I messed up a Game of Thrones Perillo, like Danny. I think it was like 17. It's a really beautiful cover, but I accidentally things shifted because I was trying to do 2 books at a time, and one book went on top of the other, and then, like the staple got pressed.
Oh, okay.
So there was a big dent of the staple, the other one, because I was trying to do 2 at a time because there was enough room on my my press, but I didn't pay attention that they slid when I. But I haven't.
We got Cliff in here. So you're saying hello. So now you've been on YouTube for a good number of years, about 6 to 8 years, somewhere around there. I know, but I know that you have 2,900 videos out there, which is a combination of live streams and pre-records. Do you know, or was there a specific moment or video where you kind of felt like your channel kind of took off?
Oh, there's a couple moments because I feel like this channel has been through kind of stages, like those early stages of trying to grind things out and get to like the magic numbers of, you know, the 1,000, what is like that's 4,000 hours and the 1,000 subscribers and all those things. I remember on the way there, right around the 500s, it felt like we started to hit our stride a little bit, doing like the live shows. I was doing TAC, and I built this channel to kind of be I don't know, like, again, a clubhouse in the same way that CBSI was a clubhouse. That's why other people do shows on this channel that I have no hand in. When people make jokes about like, oh, it's Pete's wife. No, I was like, as long as you don't get the channel in trouble, you guys do whatever you want. Like, I'm not going to micromanage you. You guys do what you're going to do. So Star Wars, Marco runs it. Well, the guys help out too with Wayseeker and Soul and Wookiee over there. But again, in the SNS, Matt's doing his thing, and then the qualified Joe and Jedi and the boys doing their thing on Fridays. And yeah, we just, at some point right there in like the 500 subs, I started to feel like, all right, we're going to be able to do this. We're like, it started to feel a rhythm of me making my own content, and then the live things, everybody was kind of going on their own. I'm like, okay, I don't have to worry about them. I just got to worry about what I need to do. It was also part of when I figured out how to edit better. Because my original videos, those dollar bin videos that I keep thinking back on, because they were 10-minute videos. I used to spend hours doing those because I didn't know any other way to do it. Like, I was literally recording myself talking with nothing. And then I went back and started putting in pictures to whatever the heck I was talking about. Like, I just started filling in panel by panel, scene by scene, stretching. Oh, I need it to be 7 seconds here. I need this to show for 12 seconds. I want to transition to rise or fade out. The whole thing. It would take hours to do a 10-minute video because I didn't know another way.
So do you know another way now?
I did. And that's kind of around when we hit that kind of 1,000 mark. I started rolling, and I started to really understand the uses of, I use StreamYard when I do my stuff, but understanding overlays that I could use for certain things. I can create like borders around the boxes so it looks like, hey, it's framed out. This looks pretty. I like things that look pretty. And then, the deck will show here next to me. If I add a second screen, I can actually see the deck next to me. So I know what's going on while I'm talking and while I'm recording it or whatever. I can go, oh, this is the book. And I will gesture that direction because I'm gesturing at it on a screen that's right here next to me. So it's just learning my own way to do things. And once I got that, it just became a matter of, all right, I just got content. I just got to come up with stuff and just get going.
So do you put that in the same direction that you need to for when you point on screen, you're pointing in the right direction?
It just happens. Like, it's right here. I'm tapping it right now. It's right next to me.
There's sometimes I'll try to shout out my channel sponsor, which goes right here, but then I'll point in the wrong direction.
Because you're moving, the box moves. That's why, again, I plan the layout so it's like I know where I'm now going to be, and like how big that box is going to be, and what I got to work with over here. Don't try not to have graphics go too far over, or they'll fall behind my overlays. And I've just gotten into a rhythm of it. So that's why a lot of the shows may look very similar, because they just kind of have templates and just kind of plug and play different things. Of like, all right, I need backgrounds, but content again.
When you have 2,900 videos, I think you got to kind of
that's inflated though. That I know that seems like a lot, but also over the last couple of years, a good chunk of that is shorts, and those are those little minute videos too, because they count those. I like just doing those because it's just kind of fun picking music and just showing videos. So a lot of that 2,900 is now been taken up probably by shorts. So maybe a third of it at this point.
On the shorts, do you use like a template for when you do them, or is it literally just you showing the picture and putting it to music?
Kind of, yeah. Again, I just use a PowerPoint. I've tried different transitions between different things, and depending on how the background overlay would go, like I'd either have the comic books on the higher end or on the lower end, and just try to have a consistent like branding of what these covers are, because I like to do like the theme variants. So it'd be like, all right, these are the Marvel animation variants, and then of course try to keep my logo on there too to keep that branding up, and then just have the the comics kind of filter in down below, set it to music, make sure I fit the parameters, make sure the music I chose doesn't tick off too many it won't play here. I mean, most of the videos won't play in Russia or Belarus for one reason or another, but that's fine by me. Like, I'm fine
Okay.
with that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just like, yeah, this won't play everywhere. I'm like, where? And I look, it's like, it won't play in Russian. I'm like, that's fine. I don't have a big Russian following, so if they don't see this short, I can live. I'll be fine.
You mean the Russian variants aren't going to pay the bills?
No, and that's the other thing. The shorts, they don't pay any bills. They literally, it's cents. Like, it's $1 a month maybe for all of them. If those don't get to pay the bills, like I said, I got to do the solo stuff to pay the bills basically these days.
So does well, I mean, if I would like to ask you, and you can tell me if you don't really want to answer it, but does your Rennavision actually make money on YouTube?
It pays for itself. It pays for itself plus. I would say that. Like, I can't retire. Like, no one could live off of this, but considering there are a lot of costs that could go into this, I know that's also part of why you do this show. Is like, there's a lot of things that go into this, because even when we were talking before we started, like the StreamYard cost, what it used to be, and then I had to downgrade it because it was like, it just wasn't worth what we were paying. Like, those things add up, and I pay for other subscriptions to use tools to help me edit and do different things. And like I said, those things all add up over time. So we eventually got to a point where it paid for itself. But basically anything that this channel makes, I put back into it, either through me getting tables at Baltimore, where we literally were giving away comics. We weren't selling anything. Like, we were literally giving away. We rented 2 tables to give away books to people and meet people, and just to kind of have fun and give back and be a positive part of the community. So everything this channel makes basically goes back into itself to try to get it a little bit more, a little bit bigger. But yeah.
Does most of the revenue come via memberships or super chats or through AdSense?
For a stretch there in the I want to say, because I think we're at like 11,000 subs now. In those days when we were around like 2 to 3, the memberships and super chats and things like that were probably half of what our revenue was like at the time. Now I don't even push the memberships anymore, because it just doesn't really factor in. It's all ad based, and most of the ad based does come through from the recorded ones. So like I said, it takes care of itself these days. And every little extra little bit here when they put back into a video, try to help it out if it needs some, get a little bit more exposure, especially when we have some guests. Like, I want to make sure that gets a little extra push out there. So yeah, we've used YouTube for that.
Okay, so you do some promotions every now and then.
Yeah, directly through the YouTube thing, where they just kind of I don't know what they do or what the algorithm does.
Right.
But I just figured for what the costs are, to throw $5 down, it's $5. Like, it's not going to hurt. So just to help any little way we can.
Yeah, the algorithm
doesn't draw.
The algorithm is definitely a fickle beast to try to figure that thing out.
It definitely is, and that was something I tried to figure out early on, but I gave up. I gave up trying to figure it out, but I also gave up trying to do too much, because I did try to do too much along the way.
Well, that's a great segue into the next question, and that is, how did you find your niche in the comic book community, and has that evolved over time?
It definitely has. It's definitely evolved, because as you said, I didn't even remember that the pickup things were the first things I did, and then my 3-hour work sessions to get a 10-minute dollar bin video were like the next things. And then I was doing live shows for a while, where that was taking a lot of my time, because I was doing Star Wars and doing my tack show on Wednesday with Marco, and those 2 nights a week were basically bookmarked, where I couldn't go out, couldn't do anything. And then in between, try to do those other videos.
Right.
And then also trying to do, like I said, too much, because I have a lot of interests. I have a lot of hobbies. I have probably undiagnosed ADHD. It's the best I can put it. Because the things that the doctors have called my son out for is like, yeah, well, I got that. I know where he got it from. It's me. But yeah, because toys to TV to video games to all that stuff, that I tried to do it all, and the channel told me no, basically.
Okay.
Like I could see it like with the views. Like every time I tried to do toys, it just wouldn't draw. Every time I tried to do video games, it just wouldn't draw. If I just wanted to talk about movies, it just wasn't getting the clicks. And I'm like, well, is it worth my effort to try to do that? I was like, no, I better just lean back into the comic book stuff for this for now. And then I can touch point on that other stuff at some level. I'll get there. So I did try to make a separate channel. So I do have that, but I haven't had time for it, to be honest.
I was going to say the research that I've done, or the, like, listening to podcasts and stuff like that about YouTube, in that they all say that stay in a niche, and if you want to do something else, or like,
yes,
don't bring that into the channel you're already doing, because that's just going to confuse YouTube.
Yes.
And so they're not going to know who to show that to, so just start something new for another interest.
No, absolutely. And that's the stuff I tried to explain to my buddy Bruce, Kingdom of Nerds, who showed up in here.
Right.
Like the first time I met him, like in person, we met in Baltimore, and just remember just chatting about things. And I was trying to tell him early on, I'm like, look, focus on what you want to do now, because you're going to get stuck. Like, I can't talk toys anymore. Like, even though there's a couple toy videos that have performed well on my channel, it's just the toys didn't draw. So it's like, right, I can't do toys now. I can't do this. So it's like, he was still early on. I was like, pick what you want to do and just focus there and run with that, and then worry about the other stuff later.
Yeah,
so
I tried to do.
I will have time for toys, just not yet.
Yeah, I know at one time I tried to do news, like comic book news, also on my channel, and it's like, then I did that for about 2 months and realized that it wasn't for me and it wasn't for the channel.
Yep, I'm same. I tried it, and then I realized, like I said, I've got other shows here that I'm not on. I was like, everybody has their news segment. So it's like every show, we've got 4 live shows really every week, and everyone has a news segment. It's like, they don't need news from me too. Like, nobody needs it from me too. So
now,
skip that.
So those guys that do the other shows, do they actually have their own channel, or they just do their show strictly through Rennavision?
Some do. Like Matt, who does a Saturday night special, he has his own channel, Absolute Geek. But no, the Star Wars is just here. That used to be over on our old channel when we were on Flipside, but then they didn't have an appetite for Star Wars anymore. I was starting up my own little thing, and then Marco came with me, and he said, "Can I do my Star Wars show on your channel?" I'm like, "Sure, go ahead. We'll do that here." I was like, "That'll be 2 things we have here." And then it just kind of went from there. And the same thing with the Friday show. Like Joe's dueling mostly, plans it out for the boys. I know Jedi and Dom and Sticks, they also give input, but I know he kind of plans everything out, but he just wants to do that. He didn't want to do his own channel, because that's what I've tried to do. I've tried to help and promote, and that's also partly, again, what Bruce is like, I'm trying to help him, coach him through what I've done and help him any way that I can. It's kind of like a big brother in a sense for this.
Now we got JSS in here. He's dropping the link to your Whatnot channel.
Whatnot. I haven't done one of those in forever.
Thank you, JSS. And then we got Dave from Still Only 35 Cents. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey.
I don't know if you're going to Heroes Con. I know that Dave and JSS will be there at Heroes Con.
I wanted to, and I almost did, because Bruce was going, and but they were only going for like Friday or something. I'm like, the stuff I want to do down in Heroes is like, it's like Friday nights. I want to go check out the drink and draw. I was like, I want to check out the auction. Like those are the draws for me. But it just didn't fit the schedule yet. Just too much going on with sun starting, summer swim up again, and everything. There's no time for it. But I do want to get down there one of these days, because I hear it is a really good convention in the way that, in my mind, Baltimore is, where there's a lot of comic dealers. It's not, celeb signings and all that stuff, because that doesn't itch me. That's Philly Fan Expo was this weekend, but even though I could get free tickets through my channel, like, I don't even want to go. Like, there's hardly any comic dealers there, and it's all just about, I love Lord of the Rings, but I can't afford paying for a photo op with them. So this is not gonna be. It's not for me. It's just not my thing.
Well, maybe next year the channel revenue will be up high enough that it can cover a photo op.
No, I don't even want to spend the money on that stuff. More and more comics. That's
Uh, Grails, right?
well, that would be nice. Some of them I think I missed my window on, but we'll try. We'll keep trying.
Yeah, mine I'm looking for will be the X-Men #1 is going to be the Grail that I'll
Same.
be going for.
100%. Same.
Um,
Same. And I remember when it was at a price that I was like, you know what? It's a lot of money, but I could probably put $1,500 together. Not anymore.
Can't do that now.
Maybe I can get a coverless copy that's missing pages as well for that. But
yeah, what would you say that your niche is now in the comic book YouTube community?
Well, right now it's mostly what is driving most of what the channel is doing these days is actually the stuff that I started as members only content, which is kind of weird to think about. Because when we were doing the member stuff, and I was trying to think, what could I do for members only content? One of the things was a weekly look ahead, something that my old buddy Brian Wood used to do, Simple Man's Comics, back in the day. He used to do a video where he would just basically do almost a full rundown of like all the books coming out, and I used to watch it. I used to watch it, and he eventually stopped. He also was with CBSI. He did the Hot 10 with Bolo for a while in presenting it. But he eventually went on his way and kind of left the YouTube kind of space behind, I think. And it just seemed like something's like, oh, I could try it. And I was doing like a partial thing. There's books I was interested in. And then eventually that show kind of grew. And now it's my Wednesday watch list. It's one of the things I have to do every week now because people are looking forward to it. I still like it, but people look forward to it. And even before I was writing the Hot 10 for CBSI, I was doing my own 10. I was doing my top 10 and 10. I was trying to challenge myself to do the video in 10 minutes and put a timer up and just do my Hot 10 in 10 minutes and just kind of run through it in that 10-minute window. Because I thought it's like that was a space that people might find it helpful. They don't want to spend a lot of time. Well, we don't need 2 hours to talk about 10 books. Like that's overkill. So let me figure something out here. And then eventually it got to a point where I did get the, I don't want to say the duty, but the honor, the privilege to write the CBSI Hot 10. So been doing that and doing a video for it, obviously.
And how long have you been doing, or how long have you been with CBSI?
Yeah, I've been CBSI longer than I've been doing YouTube. So if I've been doing this 8 years, I must have been doing that maybe 9, maybe 17, maybe 2017 thereabouts. Trying to think back. Like I remember I began writing articles and I had my wife proofread them when she could. I was like, could you just read this? Make sure this makes sense. And I would just try to do things that eventually I could see why I wanted to do YouTube, because I would put like GIFs in my articles to make like movie clips and jokes, because that's just how my mind works. Like I can just recite movie lines. It's just one of the things. A certain window of time with movies, obviously, but just how my brain works. So eventually when I did start to get to do videos, it seemed natural. It seemed like a natural transition. But yeah, I've been doing, like I said, dollar bin digging it used to be every week. I've kind of struggled to keep up that pace because of other commitments. And now, again, with the Wednesday watch list and the Hot 10 kind of driving the ship here. I try to get the other ones in where I can.
So is in the comic book aspect, would you say that dollar bin diving is one of your passions?
Yeah, because it's what I always do. That's how I shop. Like I'm not a big money spender going cons. I like going to the flea market. I like digging in the yard sale. Any place I see a box of books, a yard sale of an antique store, wherever, I just get excited and I just want to go look. More so than checking walls. Like, wall books are great, but I just love digging in those boxes because there's amazing the things that people overlook and the fun little weird little things you can find. I like doing that. And that's also kind of where I kind of try to build shows out of that same kind of mindset of like sneaky keys and hidden gems and things like that, because there's a lot of books that people don't know is like, this actually is worth money. Like this is kind of tough to find and things like that. So I like kind of sharing that kind of information, give people some things they can hunt for when they're digging in a box, because while everybody can go shop online, shopping online, it can quickly turn into, oh, wait a second. Somebody else is selling this for $50. I guess I better make mine $50. And it's no longer a deal.
Very true. I love the hunt. I've been basically thrifting with my wife for the last hell, I would say 18 to 20 years. I mean, since we started dating. So, I mean, we always love going and finding that thing for a really low price that has much more value than what it was actually priced at.
Oh, I hear you. My wife supports it in the sense that some of the books that I've been able to find and then resell have paid for certain things around the house. They're like, oh, we need new furniture, or we extra money for vacation, whatever it might be. She likes it for that aspect, and she understands why I love this stuff. But she also gives me the time to do my channel and show because she doesn't want to talk about this stuff with me, unfortunately.
I completely understand. You were talking about StreamYard earlier. Is it laggy or is it pretty snappy, like transition wise and stuff like that? Because I'm noticing a little bit with Restream, there's some hesitation every now and then. So I don't.
The same thing kind of happens at StreamYard too. Every now and again, things could get a little laggy, and it depends on how many people we have. If we're doing like a live show, and if there's multiple, inputs, somebody could lag, and they may not notice. And I haven't found a perfect situation in doing this.
Well, I'm meaning more on the transitioning from like scene to scene, or if you bring
normally it's fine. Normally it works fine for me. Because usually I'm recording, because that's the other thing that I do. It's a little bit different, I guess, because I end up just recording and I'm just in a room by myself, running through the transitions and clicking the mouse, and it's running the deck next to me, and I'm just talking, and then end. And then afterwards, I just download it to edit it to kind of intro at the front, outro at the back, maybe a cut somewhere in the middle in case I had to clear my throat, cough, or something went wonky. But other than that, it's pretty clean, which is why I can keep up with it and can keep doing those, at least the very least those 2 shows every week, because it is kind of time. Some of those can be time consuming, because like the watch list, the Monday show that I do, the deck, it's 300 some slides every week. You want to try to trim it, like it's long, and I keep trying to get myself to get the show done in an hour, and I get it done sometimes. Sometimes I go just a hair over, but I don't plan it out. Like I don't have a script. I make the deck for whatever the books are this week. I'll sit down and just go through it and just start talking, and hopefully I can try to get it within an hour and not too far out of it. I think in innate sense of time, I kind of have an idea of when I'm trending slow or fast, but it is a challenge just to kind of do that. And it's also an hour of me just talking to no one but myself. So it's like, I gotta take a moment. I gotta have a drink because my throat's getting dry or whatever it might be. And it's weird, but at the same time, I do like doing it.
Uncle Nerdy says he misses the movie quiz show. Bring it back, please.
Oh, that was fun. That was an idea that buddy JJ, who's on our channel, he came up with. It's like, hey, we should have an idea for like a fill-in show, because sometimes some of the boys, they can't do a show. Like Friday night guys, they got plans. We don't want to have a show this week, or Saturday night, somebody's sick or they got whatever plans, no show this week. So it's like, hey, let's have an idea for a fill-in show, and let's just do movies. Like just do something completely different. And yeah, we did it. We did it a couple times. I had fun doing it, but it is a lot of time prepping those. But it is kind of fun doing it, because we would do segments where we would like remove the actor from the scene and then try to guess the movie, like with the actor removed, or mess with the posters and things like that. It was just all movie based, and yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that again. Maybe I have to do it on Bruce's channel though. He's got more movie angles than my channel does, because like I said, I don't know if it's the algorithm don't like it, but if I do something that's not comic books, it doesn't
go anywhere. Yeah. I was gonna say, the other night when you had when the qualifiers was on, and I got the notification I was going to watch it, and I was like, okay, none of these people look familiar to me. So I didn't know that you had other people just running shows.
Shows on my channel.
And I'm thinking to myself, well, I thought Pete was the guy in charge of Rennavision, so
I am.
Okay. So I was a little confused there, and then I realized, oh, okay, because then you actually premiered another video about the same time as when they were on.
Yeah, we
first.
used to. I tried to do like a lead in to that one, but honestly, I was the one struggling to make making 9 o'clock on a Friday every week was tough. Like,
Right.
because making the list and then making the deck and then filming the show, like that was the other thing. Kind of finding a way doing the Hot 10. It was like did it a live show for a while. We had a panel of people for a while, and it just seemed like it was hard just trying to line up everybody to meet, or even if we recorded it, like to meet at a time to do it. So then eventually I don't know if it was because I was on vacation or one thing or another. It's like I just did it by myself, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this on my own now. like appreciate, and the guys also appreciated it too, because it was just again tough on their schedules to try to make a 20-minute or half-hour window just to do some. I'm going to talk about some book that I'm not really interested in for 2 minutes, and then that's all I get to say the whole show, because I don't really care about that incentive variant that's kind of hot this week, and I get it. And I will admit, doing that show isn't always fun, because I don't love all the books that are selling it, but it is what's selling. Like I can't not like it. It's just like it doesn't matter. It's what's selling. I'm reporting the market at that point. So I'm just looking at it from the sense of a journalist, which is actually what I studied when I went to college. I studied to be a journalist, but I didn't go into journalism mostly because I don't think I could have paid any of my loans back if I did, because journalists don't make very much money, and it's really tough to actually get a job to get started. So again, that's why the writing thing always kind of took was more natural to me. Why I started at CBSI, because I was just and I realized what I like doing was more editorial writing and not reporting. But I get to mix it up now. So even though even though the Hot 10 is probably our biggest draw show on the channel, I don't love doing it because, again, I don't love all the books that are on there. Some of the books I know it's a bad buy, but that's why I always say it's like, this is not a recommendation list. Don't look at the list like it's an investment list of like, hey, go buy this. It's like, you're kind of too late already on this. This is what's sold. So now's not the time to buy. But it's what's got to be done. Yeah. Like I said, keep the lights on for the other things and do the other fun stuff. I got to keep it up.
Yeah. I got a super chat from JSS Brooklyn, and let me give you your thanks, JSS.
Nice.
Thank you very much. And there are a lot of people that do the upcoming books, videos, and the hot books of the week. I mean, you are competing in a very big market with Comics with Bueller and Comic Tom. So, but I would say you're holding your own pretty well.
I just do what I do, because to be honest, people don't believe me when I say I don't watch other channels. Like, they don't go, no, of course you do. It's like, dude, I don't have time. Like, I legit don't have time. I got nothing against any other channels or anything like that. It's not that. I just literally don't have the bandwidth and time to watch somebody else's show and then do my own. Like, I just can't. Like, I still have to make the deck for the watch list. Like I said, it's 300 slides. I haven't started it. Like, I've planned it out. I've got everything set of where it's going to go. I still got to do that between now and when it premieres at some point tomorrow. And I've got to do my actual real job in that window too. So I don't have time to be checking out somebody else's list or this, that, or the other, because I don't have the time. So I hear things from other people like, oh, did you see this or that? Or, hey, they mentioned you here. Like, oh, that's great. Whatever. But honestly, I just don't have time. I don't have time.
So,
but I am trying to also, in my head, like when you mentioned Tom's, like, yeah, like I want to, hopefully we could get there. Like, we can get to that spot at some point. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's just shooting for that. I'm just trying to grow one week after the next, just get more people, but we just do what we do and just try to do it the best we can.
Right. So I'm guessing you're going to be in that room for quite a while tonight.
No, well, I usually multitask. I just got my laptop set up, and like I said, I build the deck out. My wife and I, we go watch like a show together where she can put something on that I'm not 100% paying attention to, and I can try to work through it. Or I just tune with, say, you got the TV, watch whatever you like. I put the headphones on, listen to music, and I just go grind it out and just like, all right, here's the cover A, here's the cover B. I wanted to do this, this, that, and I build the deck out. So this way, when I go and sit down tomorrow, I just sit down for an hour, usually right before dinner. I'd be like, all right, when's dinner gonna be ready? All right, I'm gonna try to get it done. Let me go in the room, I'll record it, run through it, go have dinner, let it edit, and then try to get it out before the night's over.
Okay.
And it's just a rhythm. It's just a rhythm and a pacing, and it's gotten tougher the last month or two because I got back into playing video games, which is kind of sapping a lot of my free time. So I start skipping doing the extra shows and be like,
Okay.
nah, I gotta play MLB 2026. I don't have time for that tonight. I gotta try. I still gotta try Bond. So that one's on my to-do list. Because again, a lot of interest.
Right. Bruce says you're the GOAT.
No, I appreciate that, Bruce, but it's not true. But I'm just here to try to help. And that's the other thing. Like I mentioned to Bruce, and I made the offer to everybody on my channel. If anybody on my channel wanted to do their own thing, they would be doing it by now. I mean, Styx has a little bit. Styx does this thing with Doctor Who and whatnot, but not whatnot. Well, actually, he does do whatnot. But the point being, I'm going to do whatever I can to help, like help my guys, help whoever I can with. It's like, hey, would it help if I post about it? Will it help if we talk about it? Should we dual stream it? Whatever you need from me, just tell me. And I'm just trying to help coach and get everybody up to where they want to be. Like, do what they want to do. Like, and that's why when I have the multiple shows running on my channel, it's like they're doing it, but I'm not making them do it. Like, if they take off, they take off. I'm not going to be yelling, oh, you guys didn't have a show this week. Like, that's on them. Like, they want to do the show, they do the show. They don't. Again, my only criteria is just don't get us in trouble. That's all. Just don't get us in trouble. Don't get us a strike or anything like that, and we'll be good.
So which live stream on your show has the biggest following? Or do you know that offhand?
It's probably still the Tack Show on Wednesday, which is, I used to do it. I mean, I say used to do it. It's only been off a couple of months, but that one out of the live shows was probably drawn the most. And then Friday and Saturday were right there. Friday and Saturday night shows were like together for a while. Friday's starting to catch a nice little following now. I think the boys are finding like their rhythm. They're kind of focusing in on artist spotlights and things like that. And I think people are enjoying that. So I think that they're starting to gain some traction there. And then Sunday, unfortunately, is a Star Wars show. Star Wars has just been rough the last couple of years. So the boys just haven't had content to work with. So I'm surprised they've been able to keep a weekly show. Even they're surprised. They're like, guys, we got nothing to talk about. Like, there's no comics this week. There's no TV shows, movies coming. Like, what do we got? But they keep it rolling. They do it for the love of the game.
So with the channel that you have with the subscriber count and the videos, do you look at your analytics very much or not at all, or do you like?
I do. I'll take a look at them, mostly to kind of try to guess like drop times. While most drop times end up being later, I try to see if there's any benefit to dropping some shows earlier, because based off of some of the tools, I don't know if it's either through YouTube or it's the one thing I have.
vidIQ or TubeBuddy?
I think it's TubeBuddy. One of those two, it recommends like the drop times. It's like for most of your people are on like 5 p.m. on Mondays or whatever through like 10 p.m. So like they give me windows of time, and I try to match those. We've broadened our scope over the last couple of years, which is nice. Because for a while there, we were all men only for like, I think like 40 to 55. Like we had a very targeted window, which was people my age. But we've kind of grown a little beyond that. So hey, like look at that. There's some 20-year-olds in here watching there. Some of it's from the shorts, but it is what it is. It's just I do take a look to try to see what we can do, but I don't actually plan anything out around that personally. I try to also give the boys who do their live shows when they ask, because like they want to know, because they don't have the full access to everything. It's like, what do you want to know? Like, just tell me what analytics you want to know. And sometimes I know, like my buddy Jedi would ask, he's like, when does the show dip? And I'm like, all right, but looks like you guys dipped at an hour and a half in for whatever. So whatever your segment you guys were doing, I guess people left, like they didn't like that one, but not often. That's just an occasional thing. So analytics are there, they're helpful, but overall I just try to just keep going. And it's like, you know what, just keep doing what we're doing. No, there's natural ebbs and flows to it. I've gotten used to that too. Like times a year seem to slow depending on, you know, con season, and then con season picks up and etc. But yeah, it's a fun ride, just trying to figure everything out, but mostly just focusing, just trying to do the shows I do want to do, because I have a spreadsheet. It's just, I've got plenty of shows planned out.
Okay.
Just finding the time to do them and build out the decks to sit down, film them, and edit them. It could be trickier.
Hey, when you say shows, you're talking about like pre-recorded videos?
Yeah, because that's how I end up working these days, is doing the pre-recorded videos. So I might want to sit down to do a 20-minute. I'm trying to think even what my active show lists are right now. Dollar bin digging, I would try to do usually over the weekends, do like a 20-minute show on that. Sneaky Keys, which was my follow-up to Hidden Gems, is just kind of, again, those books you may not know are worth a little bit extra. It's things to hunt, or you want to know like an artist first, things like that. It's fun things that interest me. Just talk about books that I find interesting and just share them for people to go and say, hey, look, these are the prices. This is what it sells for. This is what people are asking for it. So if you find it in your shop, it's your call what you want to do with that information. Like, I'm not telling you go buy this, but I'm telling you this thing sells for $20. The asking price is around 25 to 30. So if you find it in your shop, I don't know what it's going to be priced at your shop. It could be $10. It could be in a dollar bin. And then you can make that call if you want to pick it up for yourself. And because it is I know a lot of people do like to flip books. It's a lot of work.
Right.
I do occasionally sell books on eBay, but it's a lot of work. And I remember doing that Wednesday Warrior thing, but that hustle to try to grab a book that's hot on Wednesday for $4 or $5, whatever the cover price is these days, just so you can go and try to sell it for $15 and have to pay shipping and eBay fees. I'm like, that's a lot of work to make $2.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's a lot of legwork.
JSS saying consistency is certainly the key to success from his point of view as a moderator, but it's pretty much the I say key to success in many things in life is consistency.
I would agree with that too, and that's why I just try to make sure my bookends are always done. Like, unless I get sick or there's something I just can't do it. I mean, I probably missed maybe 2 or 3 Wednesday watch lists the last, I don't know, 3 years I've been doing it, or 2 or 3 years I've been doing that. Same thing with the Hot 10. I've only missed maybe 2 the whole time. It's on me to get it done. And I made that commitment. I want to do this. So if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. And I'm going to do it every week. And if I can't, I'll let you know when I can't. If I can hand it off to somebody else to do it, I will. But otherwise, I wouldn't take it on, because you're not going to. It's the consistency thing. It's people come to expect it. Like, and I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I actually like that. I like that people look forward to watching something that I'm making. So I want to have it ready. I want to make sure it's there, and I want to make sure it's good each and every time.
Very true. Mark from Legion of Comics saying hello. How you doing, Mark? Somebody, do you know Matt from Heroes for Hire Comic Club? Or do you know who Matt is?
I know the name. Yeah,
I was going to say, he would definitely love your shirt and your hat. He is a huge G.I. Joe fan.
Yeah, I know. I just recently got this shirt done, and I was like, you know what? Now's a good time to bust it out.
Mark says, very true. For example, when it comes to picking up my kids from school, consistency was key.
Yeah.
Very true.
They tend to notice when you miss it.
Yeah. The kids and the teachers. JSS also saying, right, and if you have to cancel, give your audience advance notice. I see viewers reacting very positively about knowing. that you're not.
Yeah, and that's what I've tried to do with the the Hot 10 with the writing aspect of it, because I've kind of made the video more prioritized than actually writing the list for the site. And I was for a stretch there just putting it off, just like, you know what, I get the video done, it's edited, it's out, it's at 10 o'clock on Friday, maybe 11 o'clock on Friday. It's like, and then I'm like spent, I'm like, I don't want to think about these books anymore, I want to write about them now. So I'm gonna go watch TV. I'll do that in the morning over coffee, and I would just get the list out like Saturday morning. But then some people got upset. It's like, oh, they hate waiting. I'm like, I get it. So let me do what I can to try to get it done earlier again. And if I can't, I'll make that note, like I said, to let them know the list ain't coming until tomorrow. If that's what's going to happen, I'll let people know if things are going to be late, because yeah, people are come to expect it. And I would be mad as a viewer, like as a person who's watching, if something I was looking forward to or expecting to be there on whatever night at whatever time wasn't there, I'd want to know. So I have been using those posts on through YouTube. So you know, make a little fun square image with my little animated version of myself, just saying, oh, I'm gonna be late tonight. I gotta go to the dentist or whatever it might be, and I just post it. People seem to like it. People seem to get a giggle, and it buys me time if I need it.
I completely understand that. And this JSS, this is a great segue into letting me let everybody know that there will not be a Comic Channel Origins episode next Sunday. I will be visiting my parents from out of town, so we're going to see them. So I won't be here for next week. So I apologize to everybody. Yeah. So next question I got for you, and we've kind of answered it a little bit, but is there any particular comic book content that performs the best on your channel, and why do you think that is?
It's again, it's those two bookends, which is why I kind of focus to make sure I get those done. Because again, I'm trying to keep the lights on for all of us, for all the boys doing the shows here too. So I don't want to mess those up. So get the 10 out every Friday, and get that Wednesday watch list out, preferably on Monday if I can. But because I'm trying to do a lead into Wednesday, so as much headway as I can give people time to watch it. And considering that show is also an hour long, that's a lot of commitment on people's time. I want to give it because they might need to watch it in chunks. So I not only want to make sure I get it out early enough, I want to make sure I can chapter that thing out so they can skip things or jump to the segments they want to see or catch up where they might have left off, etc. So I do those perform the best. And while it's not always the funnest part of it, because again, I more enjoy doing those other side shows, because the 10, it is what it is. Like, I'm just doing research. Whatever books you're selling. And it's not fun, like counting up how many sales are, but I am curious in nature. So I'm was doing it anyway. So I don't hate it. It's just when you have to do it, it gets kind of tough on the time. Like, crunch is like, damn, it's like, I need to find another book. What is selling? I mean, I had to sit here racking my brain of thinking, what's coming? What should I even look to? And it could be stressful, but at the same time, I got to remember, it's like, it's just a list. These are just books. And as long as it makes sense to me, that's all that matters. And again, the watch list, it just takes a lot of time because it's an hour. Like that's longer than most for a recorded segment. I think for most people don't do something like that.
Do you use timestamps in your videos?
I try where possible. Even with the live shows, going back, I find it helps with the replay watches. Yes. Or if people just can't watch live, like, we got plenty of people who watch over in Europe, so they can't watch live on some of our shows when we do them, like on a Wednesday night. So they'll check it out the next morning. So doing those timestamps, I think, does help, so they can skip some things and get to the portions that they might be most interested in.
So let me ask you this, on doing the timestamps, do you actually mark down when they take place and put it in there, or do you have?
I would do it if with the boys who are doing their own shows, if they give me the info, I'll post it. So like if Joe wants to give me the info, I'll post it in there. Timestamps will be there. If it's a show that I was on or one that somebody asked me to timestamp it up, and if I got the time, I will just kind of rewatch the show. It won't be during the show. It'll be more like on a rewatch or look back and just kind of like, there it is. Like, that's also why I built in transitions. Like, I love those little transition videos for segments
Right.
One, because they're fun to make, and two, it helps picking out those segments for timestamp purposes.
Wait,
Oh, there it is.
Do you want a little trick or a hack to save you some more time?
Sure. Whatever you got, always help.
Have in the YouTube studio for your for the analytics and everything, you know where the Ask Studio feature is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can copy the link to the video. I mean, a completed video, processed, everything, transcript created. You can copy that link into the YouTube Ask Studio and say, give me the timestamps.
I figured there was probably a thing that did that. I just didn't know where it was.
I mean, I actually have a video on my channel where I went through this process and showed it. So if you need a quick
I'm going to
little
watch it. I am going to
6-minute
watch it and figure out
tutorial,
how to
it's right
use
there.
that. Because again, I know it definitely helps the rewatches having timestamps, because people want to be able to jump. Like,
well,
a segment could run long, or a segment just might not be their cup of tea. Because I want to get to the next one.
Yeah. I mean, Google is the #1 search engine in the world. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, owned by Google. And so if you put chapters in your video, it gives it more search points for SEO purposes for the video. So
that is a good point. I didn't think of that either.
Yeah.
Let's see, that's next level thinking. I'm just trying to get things done.
it was one of those things with my job. I have a lot of time to think, and it was just one of those, I bet this would work. And especially since it's in YouTube right there and it's in your videos, it can see it. So
no, that makes sense. It definitely makes sense.
I'll send the link to you later on, because
awesome.
I would have to go find it.
Like I said, I'd love to check it out. Just anything to kind of help save time. It's always helpful, because
you would be able to do the timestamps for all your guest host shows. So
yeah, that would be good too, because it also helped save them some time too.
Oh yeah, I mean, they wouldn't have to worry about doing any of that, so you could just drop it in there, and it just has to be fully processed. And
gotcha. Yeah.
So how do you? I mean, I was going to say, how do you balance what you love to talk about with what the algorithm wants?
Well, and that's kind of where I had to make those decisions when I decided, just, you know what, we're just going to split things off. And that's why I created I got a toy channel, which I started it. I got it to 500 subs. And then I just kind of, it's still there. It's still there. I occasionally just do shorts for it these days, because that's all I have time for. Like, every once in a while, I'll do shorts of some new hot toys or whatever, cool things I think are coming out, and I'll just do a little thing, set it to some music, and throw it on there so I can keep the channel still moving. I want to get back to it. I have shows planned. That's another thing, because while I'm at the office and I'm working at the office, my brain has a lot of downtime. Like, just admittedly, for what I do, I've been doing what I do for a while now, so I don't need a full 8-hour shift to get my work done. So I got a lot of time to think and contemplate. So even though a lot of sites are blocked for me at my office, so I can't check eBay and things like that now, I can still think things through. And that's where I plan out a lot of my shows and do. Like I said, spreadsheets. I just come up through. It's like, all right, I need 4 books in this topic. I need 4 books of this topic, 4 books of this topic. Bang, that'll be one show. That'll probably run me like 20 minutes if I run through it. Or, all right, let's do top 10 toys. And I'm like, what do I want to do next? I was like, oh, Mask is coming up soon. I probably should do Mask. I've been thinking of doing Mask forever, and I'm doing research, and I'm getting sales prices and all that stuff, because the comic is coming, I think, next week?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it's next week. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get it done in time. And it's just like, oh, well. And it's like, I missed the window for that. But I'll get to it eventually. And the same thing with the video games. I always liked checking those types of things out too. Those sales of, like, what are the 10 highest priced PlayStation 1 games or the NES games? Because again, I like looking at places like yard sales and flea markets for fun. Like, I like digging for not just comics but anything. And just figure whatever might be helpful to put out for other people, and I'm curious for myself, then I'm like, killing two birds with one stone. I'm figuring this out for myself of what's valuable and what's not, and then I can share it. Like, I don't see the point in gatekeeping information, because what good does that do? So people by now know, especially like a lot of my viewers, like, if you got questions, you feel free, send me direct message, Instagram. I got plenty of chats going with a lot of different people, a lot of different things. Like, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Like, if I can't tell you, I'll tell you I can't tell you. But if you want to ask something, go ahead, ask me. Like, I'll tell you. Like, I'm not keeping secrets. I'll tell you what I paid for something, what this thing, whatever. I think in certain aspects, it's not a good place to put it. Like, I don't want to maybe do like on our conversation here, like a live sheet. It's like, oh, this is what this cost. But yeah, I'll tell you, because
talking about toys, if you want to check out a good toy review channel, do you know E-Man's World of Geek?
Yeah, I think I know that name.
Yeah, check it out. He really loves Transformers, and so he does a really good job of taking or showing off Transformer toys and stuff like that. He has a good series about did he get what he ordered, or did he get Temu'd? So
yeah. I try to watch some of the toy stuff, like, again, on YouTube, because while I may not watch comic content, the things I do watch on YouTube are usually like wrestling related. I like wrestling. So I watch like wrestling videos on news and a bunch of toy stuff. I will watch a lot of stuff on toys, whether they be Hasbro Pulse announcements or there's one channel that I think is really good. It's Comic Artist, Ibrahim Mustafa. I stumbled into the Saturday night show. Like, again, I don't do all the other boys shows, but I just happened to go on a Saturday night show where the boys were doing an interview with an artist, and then during that interview, he'd mentioned like his other hobby was custom making toys, and I was just fascinated by it. And then he's actually made his own channel where he's custom making like his own action figures. Like, this is what we got, and this is what we wanted, and he just tries to make like just these awesome figures like himself with like real clothes and to scale and all the extra little details. It's really cool, and I'm just fascinated by that. I wish I had the time to do stuff like that.
Another question, or it's not actually on this list, but I'm bringing this up because,
like I said, anything you want to ask, I'll answer anything.
Well, I mean, because this is you're the first person I've talked to that just literally has given free reign to other people to do stuff. How hard was it actually to do that? Like, hand over the key, some like partial key, like a guest key to.
It wasn't immediate. To be fair, it wasn't like anybody who walked in just got the keys to the kingdom and got to do whatever they liked.
Right.
Early on, like I said, buddy Marco, he's been on the channel basically this whole run with me. I gave him the keys to Star Wars because Star Wars was his show. I was on it with him. Like, I started working with him to do that in doing that Star Wars show. And like, he's like, oh, these guys, the other guys on the flip side keep saying, oh, this Pete guy knows how to do this. And he wanted like, oh, the graphic or a thumbnail. And he's like, oh, he likes doing it because I do like doing thumbnails. Right. And he would ask me to do them for the show. And then I would go on the Star Wars show on Sundays because, at the time, I didn't have a lot of commitments, and I could do it. Like, my son was really young, and like, he's a little guy. There's not a lot to do. Like, once he's in bed by like 8 o'clock. I'm free to go and do shows on a Sunday night, things like that. And he runs basically the Sunday show, and then also was on the Wednesday show with me. And now he's got the reins there, where Bruce has kind of replaced me the last few months because I needed some time away from the live stuff.
Right.
Joe, running basically the Friday show, he was working behind the scenes with us for a good long while, helping us come up with like ideas and content, building out some decks and things, and he was just a viewer. He was just a viewer that we met doing one of those members only, we did a members only kind of hangout session things. Right. Like, all right, well, where our members are, we're all going to get together. Like, well, me and Mark are going to hang out like 9 o'clock on a Friday, and Joe was in there, and we just BSing and talking, and then eventually he came over and he was doing work for us, and then asked him, like, do you want to run the show? Because I think Jedi had the reins early on, but with his job it was too hard for him to keep it consistent,
right?
So it was definitely a help to have Joe do that for him. And then Saturday was basically Matt and Kyle, and rest in peace my buddy Kyle, they were over on the other channel with me, and through little bit of falling out over there at times. They came over just looking for a place to be, and I knew who they were, and we'd worked together. And I was like, look, guys, I know you like to push the envelope, because they did. It's like, but as long as we don't get in trouble, you guys do what you need to do. So, yeah. Apart from a few edits that we've had to do for copyright purposes, we've been fine.
Okay. So do they log in through StreamYard to get access to doing the shows?
Yeah, they do, because what we do now, we have StreamYard. We used to have, and this is what we were talking about before even the show started. Like 2 years ago, or maybe it was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we were able to go up to a level of StreamYard, because there's like levels to it. Like you got the free aspect, and then you got the paid one, and then there was like a pro or whatever, where it gave us like 4 extra seats where people had their own separate logins, and they could do whatever they needed to do in StreamYard, for the most part. And then like all these extra other features that we weren't really using, like, well, extra camera here for this, or 20 people backstage, or you could do seminars, stuff we didn't use, but we did it because it wasn't that much of a price difference. And then it came to a point where it then doubled in price. And then we just did it. It's like, well, the channel could afford it, so we'll do it. And we did it. And then the next year, we might have done it one more time at that high level price. And then just this past year, I said, you know what, guys, it ain't worth us paying for that. Like, it's double the price of what we need. So basically, they're just sharing an extra like login to the site. So the StreamYard will give you like 2 kind of like logins with almost like admin rights, if you will.
Right. Okay.
And it's just basically, I created it so this way those guys can all get access, the showrunners, like, so this way the showrunners can have access to get to do whatever they need, to do their shows, to start them up, all that stuff.
Yeah, so you have the primary, and then they have
the key with it, because the whole thing with StreamYard, like, I don't know if anybody out there who is also doing their own YouTube channels and use it, when you try to log in, it's like, you gotta have a code, and like the whole thing, code goes to an email, and then you gotta get the email code within 15 minutes to like log in. I just created again, for a showrunners, like, we got a showrunner email, so this way when they need to log in, if they get kicked out, they have access to the email that'll go to it, so they don't have to bother me or wait for me in case I'm out of pocket or something. Like, hey, Pete, I need the code, because that would happen. And while I'm free available, sometimes I'm not, or sometimes I'll get back to it like a half hour later, and it might be too late, because I'm not doing a show that day. Like, I'm living life at that point. So figured it out, and it made sense. Everybody's on board with that, so we've got it to a point where we've got that one login for all the showrunners to use.
Okay. So you have the Rennavision showrunner email address.
Basically, yeah. So this way, when they got to get into StreamYard, that's the way they can get in if they get kicked out, because it does remember. So like, I haven't had to log in forever on my computer. It just kind of remembers you if you just use the same one. So
right. A few minutes ago, you mentioned sometimes you have to do edits for those guys, and so that kind of leads into, what mistakes did you make early on that you wish that somebody had warned you about?
Well, mistake. Well, I don't think the not knowing how to edit, which wasn't, it took forever. It wasn't a mistake. It was a learning process. Biggest mistakes, I think, early on were 2 things. One, the channel name. While it's my name, it has nothing to do with comics. It tells nobody what we are about. So that kind of,
I can see that.
It kind of limits us in that aspect. So even though it kind of rolled off the tongue, because my name, again, it's not the secret. My name's Pete Renna. So Rennavision, which was, I don't know, it was a contentious situation of which one of the CBSI guys told me to use that, whether it was Ben or Mike Morello. I can't remember which one of them suggested it. All I know is it wasn't me. One of them suggested Rennavision as when I wanted to do my own channel thing. One of them suggested it, and then I just ended up using it. Like, I made my little logo, and then that was it. Like, I've been using the same logo since I initially created it. And we're 6-7 years ago now, with the blue and I can't remember the name of the site that I use. I got 2 text sites that I have subscriptions to, because again, I do pay for tools to make my job easier, to make these decks and things. And there are 2 text font sites that I use, and one of them, it had this Grand Theft Auto like text. So I was like, that's cool. So that's kind of what I used.
Okay.
But yeah, the naming was one. The second thing I think was trying to do all that other stuff. Like I wasted a lot of time and effort trying to do other shows and content that just wasn't catching, and I was missing out doing what was working, trying to do the other stuff. I was trying to do too
Right.
much.
Yeah.
So there was probably a good year where I probably did that, of just trying to do too much, and we just kind of got a little stagnant for a while, and then
it's kind of I listen to podcasts about like social media and stuff like that, and they always talk about master one first before trying to learn 5 others. So learn that one as best you possibly can before you move on to the next one. So
yeah, 100% agree with that. And it took me a while to learn that.
Yeah.
It did take me a while to learn that bit, but now I know it. And like I said, put the other thing to the side. So the toy video game stuff, it's over here. One day I'll have time for it to do it in earnest. I just got to keep it alive in that stretch.
Well, I do remember, like, in your very first video, you didn't have quite as much gray in your beard.
Oh God,
and that so maybe by the time it goes all gray, you can have a toy channel.
Maybe by that time. Yeah, I do love looking back on those old videos, and I see like I had like a 1-line strip, like I was some sort of evil villain. Like I just had one strip of gray in the beard, and then it started, oh, now there's 2, and then it's here, it's on the sides, and up here it's like, oh, it's getting gray up here. And yes, it's like I do have hair underneath the hat. And people are like, well, you're a grown man, why do you wear a hat? Which is the weirdest thing for YouTube comments that go like throughout the years. Some of the comments you get is like, grown men wearing baseball caps. I'm like, well, dude, I'm at home. Like, I don't want to get all gussied up to talk about comic books for you guys. Like, I had a whole day at work. I'm just grabbing a drink and throwing a hat on because now I'm just getting comfortable.
Right. Legion of Comics says Rob has the keys to his StreamYard kingdom, and I have the keys to Rob and DJ's. And I think a lot of us have access to each other's, at least those of us that stream with each other. And he also said that he still has access to Comic Man Andy's channel.
Andy.
And he hasn't been on YouTube for a long time now.
Andy is a good dude. I know Andy. Andy was a good guy. Yeah, he hasn't done stuff for a while.
I don't know Comic Man Andy, so I think that was before my YouTube time.
Yeah, well, I did on Brian Wood had for a short time, he was doing a show that was kind of like a news kind of like segment where he had like a couple of panelists, and I was early on with them, but then I was starting to do my own live show at the time, so I had to bow out because I'm like, I can't do your show and then do my show because it just doesn't seem right. And we're going to be covering the same topic kind of thing, and nor do I have the time to do 2. So it's like, I got to do my tack show on Wednesday, and it's not that it was too similar, but we were doing a news segment. So, but Andy was one of the panelists with Brian Wood over there, and yeah, he's a good dude. Again, I met him in Baltimore in the one year, and he's a big Punisher guy. He's just a collector at heart first and foremost. Like the YouTube stuff was all just kind of fun that he was doing, but doing the unboxings and showing off his pickups and things like that.
All right. Before we get to my next question, I want to do a quick shout out to Comics Curing Cancer. So please check out the QR code right here. You can scan that. That'll take you to the website for Comics Curing Cancer. They do have some exclusives, or they still have some that are on there for their art book and a couple of the variant covers that haven't sold out yet. They did drop, I think those just went on sale this past Thursday. So go check that out. There also will be a Heroes Con at booth 1766. So check that out. Also check out my channel sponsor, Ron's Comic Closet. And if you use code I have issues at checkout, you'll get 20% off your first purchase. Got new issues, back issues, and a lot of other great stuff. So thank you for taking the time for that one. And let's get back to the chat. So let me clear the QR code so we can see the chat. Yeah. And Legion say Andy is one of the nicest dudes.
Yes, he's a sweetheart.
Yep. And then Mark saying thank you for the C3 shout out, because if those of y'all that don't know, Mark and Rob and DJ are along with Austin LeMay, are the engines that make or the Fantastic Four that make C3 happen. or no, not C3 happen. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out to if there's anything I could do to help. I am 100% on board to supporting that. Is a
I'm sure that coming up when they do their Comics Curing Cancer auction in late October and do multiple shows, maybe we could set up some type of promotion where you can give a shout out so your audience will at least know about the schedule of
absolutely
online comic book auctions.
Again, so. I know Bruce has mentioned them, my buddy Bruce, because he has been almost like a mayor. He's going out, he's meeting everybody and greeting everybody on different channels and stuff. I'm not opposed to that. I just, like I said, I don't watch a lot, so I don't know a lot of other creators. But anybody who's ever asked me to do stuff, yeah, sure.
Yeah, they did. They also had an exclusive with Mark Spears. Did Monsters 10 with the Comics Curing Cancer exclusive. And I guess there's one for sale right now on eBay for $200.
Wow.
So, but you can get yours at HeroesCon for $20. What was that?
Mark does have a very loyal fan base, and they will pay quite a bit for some of those covers.
And then here's Legion actually to you saying, yes, message me. We are always in need of donations and spreading awareness. So whatever I can do to make connections happen on the YouTube, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I hear you. And again, I'm whatever I can do to help with whatever limited reach that I have or we have, I am happy to use it to help.
Well, you have more of a reach than I do.
Or, good causes.
All right. So what is your process for planning and producing a video from idea to upload?
It varies. Sometimes it could just be things going on in the news, and you obviously think about, oh, look, this just got announced. So what's the first, your brain, or at least my brain, naturally goes to, it was an announcement. What's the first appearance? People are going to be interested in that. I mean, apart from the fact that I got to research it for things like the Hot 10 anyway, I can also look at it from the angle for dollar bin digging, because that's also drives people to go in the boxes to dig for that stuff. So if I can figure it out, do some research, do some legwork for others, I don't mind doing it, because like I said, I'm naturally curious myself as soon as I hear it, if I don't already know what the answer is.
Right.
But outside of that, just anything that I see. And generally, if people recommend things, people in the comments suggest things. They're like, hey, have you seen this? Have you seen that? And if people do, I try to do credit where credit is due every time. Like, you'll notice I'll copy and paste from my comments. Like, somebody suggested these books, like these variants, and I looked at them and like, yeah, they're right. These are actually pretty good books. And I looked into it, and here's a few that you should also keep an eye out for. So it comes from all different places, but I try to track things, like, again, through a spreadsheet, because that's how I can file all of my plans. I got tabs for different shows, and be like, all right, this fits here, this fits there, and just try to place mark things that I think are interesting and or worthwhile knowing, and try to get to a point where I can figure out how to talk about this and get this book out there without it being some sort of, I don't know, like, I'm not here to shill any books. Like, I just want to give people ideas of things that they can go and like hunt. Because I never recommend buying full price. That you're never going to make any money or be happy if you have to pay a full price. You just want to know what things might be valuable. So hopefully you can find it for cheap, either for your own collection, or if you do want to do the flipping thing. I'm not going to judge anybody for flipping books. It's just know what you're doing and know what you're buying, because again, you got to know your margins.
Yeah. Because you can lose your shirt if you.
Yeah, it's easy to lose. It's easy to get caught up in FOMO. It's easy to get caught up in FOMO, going, "Oh my God, I gotta buy this. I gotta buy this dork #1 for $80." You don't.
Right.
I liked it. It was a good read. It wasn't $80 good read, but it was a good read.
Legion has a question for you. Are you willing to shill if we pay you to?
Nope. My integrity is worth more than that. But seriously, I don't need it. That's the biggest thing. Like my channel, this is my free time. Like, everything I do, it's my free time. And the few dollars it does make goes right back into it. So I don't need this to survive. I have a full-time job and doing well enough to take care of everything I need to with that. So I don't got to worry about selling books or doing things like that. I've thought about it. There was a time we were pretty close It was pretty, because you brought up Mark Spears. We were pretty close. We were going to do an exclusive with Mark pretty early on, just to do something stupid. But then we decided, you know what? I don't want to have to worry about even selling 100 books or whatever the hell number we came up with. I don't want to have to worry about selling this. So it was a fun idea, but no, we'll just let that go.
And Mark said, a little known secret: if you don't wear a shirt, you can't lose your shirt.
That is very true.
Very true.
But they will take your pants and your shoes. They will take anything they can from you, even if you don't have that shirt. So you got to watch. It is a tough business. It is tough. It's easy to get caught up in the hype of things.
Yeah. On the process, do you come up with your thumbnails and titles before you make the video, or do you do that afterwards based upon what you said in the video?
It kind of does start with kind of like the show. Like I will kind of do the show idea a little bit, because that's why I do so many different shows, like the side things. Like I've done so many different little series and things, because I'll come up with an idea that, you know, or it's never come up with an idea, or I see something that seems worthwhile in doing and go, you know what could I do with that? Oh, trade paperbacks, for instance. Like, oh, trade paperback. There's a lot of trade paperbacks that are worth more than just, you know, the $20 that might cost at your Barnes and Noble, like collectible wise. And like people might not know the ones to look for. So it's like, oh, what could we call it? And then Trade Secrets was a title that we used to have over on CBSI. And I thought, hey, shout out to Phil, who used to do that title. I'm going to just make a video series of this, because he hasn't written about this in 2 years. And I think it's a good baton to pick up and kind of run a show. Most comic collectors apparently don't collect trades, so I don't get to do too many of them. But it was a fun experience to try it, and I do still have a couple planned out if I ever get back to it, because there's still more to cover. But I just get, because as I mentioned earlier on, I do like making logos, and I do like trying to figure out intros and transitions, and I don't know, the whole aspect of building a show kind of calms me. So I don't mind coming up with, especially when it's something new. Then I get all about it, and then I kind of forget everything else. And it's like, oh, I got to make Variant Hunter. I'm gonna do this whole cyberpunk thing, and I'm gonna see if I can use Copilot to kind of help me out with this. And like, I got this cityscape, and I'm like, hey, put a comic shop in this picture, and then it does this little thing. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like that's a pretty fun background. So now there's like a comic shop and some weird futuristic Japanese backdrop in the cityscape that just says comic store or something. I'm like, all right, that's the background now for this show, because I think it's fun. Very cool. Then just go from there. Like I just like that kind of stuff, just to make it all look pretty and transition, and then try to figure out the rest of it after that. Like, all right, so what is the show about? Variants. Oh, okay. What criteria to put around that? Because I already did this. I already did that. This one's going to be about affordable variants. We're going to go only to like 1 in 10s and things that are not too overly priced, because this might be more, this is more how I shop. Like it's what I do. I mention IDW 1 in 10s all the time, because I love digging for IDW 1 in 10s. Why? Because they're not the easiest things to find. Right. And it's kind of cool in finding them, even if they're not valuable right now. Who knows? One day down the line, people might want an Edward Scissorhands retailer incentive. I don't know, but I thought it was fun to find when I dug in Third Eye Comics boxes for $2. I was like, ooh, it's a 1 in 10. Sure. That's cool. Now, another question about the process. Since you have a journalism background or a degree in that, do you actually spend a lot of time in writing out your descriptions, or no? I don't spend any time writing. Everything's off the cuff, and I just do it in the moment. Whether it be the descriptions, like on the shows, it's usually a copy and paste job of something I wrote the first time out, and I'll just change a date, or I'll change the one line of this week we're talking about these books, and then this whatever the title is. Otherwise, it's just kind of I did it once. I'm not doing that part again. Okay. All right. Yeah, I sometimes will take the transcript and drop it into chat and say, give me a description for my video. Yeah. I mean, but I can say this, I'm not a writer, so. Yeah. Well, what I mean is I usually have an idea. So like if I'm the variant show, for instance, I already have a plan in what I'm doing. It's like, all right, I'm going to do 3 segments. I'm going to do like 4 or 5 books each one. One of them is going to be don't know, Marvel superhero 1 in 10s from the IDW thing. The other one's going to be Ninja Scroll 1 in 10s, and the other one's going to be DC 1 in 10s from around like the 2015 time. Maybe the Wonder Woman.
Okay.
I'll do the Wonder Woman 1 in 10s. So I know I got these 3 topics, and I'm like, all right, which one will probably draw the best, or people might know better than the others? They probably don't know Ninja Scroll all that much. Marvel seems like a draw, but those are the kiddie books. So maybe I'll lean in on Wonder Woman, and then from there, maybe spotlight Wonder Woman in the thumbnail, because again, the female form draws a little more eyes than the male form, I guess. So that's what I'll work on when I make the thumbnails, because again, that's one of my favorite things to do is making the thumbnails. It's just,
yeah, I mean, that's what I've heard. The female form does draw eyes.
Yeah. So figure, get the character, a couple of books in the background, title, maybe some extra text. I don't know. I'll lay it out, figure it out for each show. That part is actually my favorite, is building out those initial templates of not only the show deck, but also like the thumbnail out, the outlay. And once I do that, I'm like, all right, cool. I feel like I made something new. And then after half a dozen episodes, I go, what else can I do?
So you like the packaging? You like making the packaging?
I do. It's fun. I don't know. It's something I like doing. So I don't mind doing it for the other shows too when they need. Like if they need a thumbnail, just ask. I'll make you a thumbnail. Like the tax show, I haven't been on the tax show, the Wednesday live show, in a while, but I still do the thumbnails because I just like making them.
All right. So with a large scope of subscribers and with multiple different types of shows that take place on your channel, I'm guessing that your community is kind of large and extensive a little bit about, or the people that comment and stuff, because I would guess people that comment on the videos that you don't actually do, you're the one that sees most of the comments, correct?
Yeah, well, the boys get to see them too, because I mean, if they're on the public aspect too, they see them. But yeah, we do have certain pockets of viewers may favor certain shows, but by and large, a lot of them will watch most of them, because again, even amongst the boys, like they don't, not want to say interchangeable, but they'll help each other out. Like the Saturday show's missing somebody, or they're a little short, like somebody like Dom might go from Friday and be like, I'll hop on Saturday show, kind of help them out this week, or whatever it might be, and vice versa. And it's just kind of, we're all friends. We're all in one big group chat together, and then there's separated show run like chats too, to keep things kind of focused so they can talk about what their topics might be for the week. But we're all just, I mean, it's, I don't know, bunch of dudes just hanging out talking comics, ultimately what it comes down to. Comics is Star Wars for the most part.
All right. And you do a lot of engagement through the chats or through the comments, and then the chats through live streams with the live stream shows that you do.
Yeah. Even if even though I'm not doing live the live show so much these days, I still will try to do, because when my recorded stuff, I'll still do premieres, so I can still join those live the premiere to be in the chat for when that thing drops, because I do like that, because there's still a lot of people connect to that way. Like I know Barlord was in here earlier. He usually shows up in a lot of our chats, and just chat, catch up, talk about whether it be what I'm talking about on the show right there or other things. I like being in the chat and talking comics with people, because this, like I said, this is my outlet to do so. Because as much as I try, my son, he's 13, he gets it, but he doesn't care too much about the books yet.
Yeah,
he's finally started to kind of lean into the video games, like, because I was surprised for years. I'm like, you want to play any games? No, he care less. Buying video game systems, he didn't want any part of it. Now he kind of is getting there. It's like, okay, so this way, if he goes and hangs out with his friends and he plays Call of Duty, he won't make a fool out of himself. He can at least hold his own for a little bit. But outside of that, comics, he hasn't gripped him yet. And the wife understands, but she don't want to talk about it.
Do you do any members only live streams, or
we haven't in a while? Like I said, we did back in the day when I used to push that aspect of it, because I would try to do some members only content. That, again, that's how I started with the watch list, and my top 10 were members only things. And then I tried to do early access to other shows, and I still will do that if I can get a show done early. But these days, me getting a show done early is rare.
All right.
It's a rare occasion. It's usually a new show. Like that's kind of where I've been. Like if I get a new show off, I generally can get it done. Like, oh, I'm doing it over the weekend. What day am I going to premiere? When do we have an empty spot in the schedule? Oh, I'll probably drop it Tuesday, but I'm going to do it on Sunday, so I can probably premiere for members on Monday, and then everybody else will get to see it Tuesday, when possible, kind of thing.
Okay. Bar Lord said he's still here.
No, yeah, Barlord's still there.
Sure. So what tools, gear, or apps have made the biggest difference in your growth?
So many good stuff. There's so many good tools out there to use. I mean, my bread and butter is just Microsoft PowerPoint. Like that's my decks are basically built off PowerPoint decks. And yes, it's limited by some of the transitions and animation features they have there, but there's enough that I can make a show work with that.
Right.
Outside of that, I mentioned 2 text font website subscription. Again, some of this stuff costs money. And if anybody's got a newer channel or if a channel you're not yet making money on your channel, I'm not recommending you go spend a ton of money on this stuff. This is stuff that I can now put money into it because the channel makes enough that I can ease my mind and get more access to more fonts and things like that. Right. I used to have one. It was like this, I think it was Text Studio. Is that what it's called? I'm going to scroll down on my little shortcuts. TextCraft. That was one I used. It had a handful of text, a lot of them for free. And then you'd pay for the larger like sizes. And it wasn't a lot. And then a font generator site, Text Studio, was the newer one I added. They had like a lot of graffiti like fonts that I started to like to use. I added that. And that helps when I'm building my thumbnails and the show decks and like the different texts and things that show up on my shows. Renderforest is a great site that gives me intros and outros because I love using it for the segments because it's kind of like preset things. Like they have, and I have them down in my descriptions, all my videos, so people know like where I'm getting this stuff. I'm like, hey, if you want to use it, you want it to look like this. This is what I used. Because again,
is that where you had the TV intro type?
Yeah, the TV intro was like a newer one they had, and it's like, oh, that's cool. And it's a template thing. It's like you put your logo that you want to show here, text if you have text, and it makes it for you. And then you can play with it if it's still like, oh, that doesn't really work. Like that logo in like a negative space or just like a two-tone doesn't work. So now I got to try something else. And it just, it's fun. But it is a paid subscription. I think it's 100 something a year.
Okay.
Something like that. But to me, that's also why I try to use it as often as I can, because even though I've made, intros for a lot of different things, I'll try to make new intros or new segments, or like, hey guys, you want a new news intro? Like, okay, let me use this because I'm paying for it. I want to try to use it and try to make use of it because I do like it.
It doesn't make sense to keep paying for it if you're only going to make one intro.
Exactly. And then Canva, I think, is the last one that was probably a good use because it's just being able to quickly use some of the tools they have of like taking like an image, like I can put a comic book cover on there and just say, remove the background. And more times out of 10, it just takes the background out and gives me what I want. Sometimes I might have to play with it to get it to work or get what I want out of it. But by and large, it makes things so much easier. It's like, oh, I want to grab this character. I don't want all the background. I just want the character. And then I'm going to covers, character on top, throw a glow or a highlight around her, and boom, thumbnail's done. Like that kind of thing. I use Canva a lot as well. So, I haven't tried too much of the AI stuff apart from my little animated me.
I was going to say, that was going to be my next question. Where did you get the animated you?
The animated me is I actually had pictures of, because I was using just pictures of myself, and then I used Canva to remove the backgrounds and be like, hey, thumbs up, like Pete's pick. And then one day when with the Copilot thing being forced on my computer, I was like, well, let me just try it. I was like, hey, Copilot, turn me into an anime character. And I just took my picture and I took my Big Trouble in Little China shirt and like adapted it. I was like, oh, cool. Like that's exactly what I wanted. And I get artists like gripes with AI. I do. And I wish that they could get paid. But at the same time, it does make my life easier and kind of fun to use it for certain things. but I'm not using it to make money off of it. I'm just trying to play around and make an animated version of me. So I figured, no harm, no foul.
Right.
But, and again, I still 100% support artists. And if I could draw this myself, I don't have the time to. I would try.
Right.
But yeah, and plus it has so many restrictions. There are a lot of restrictions these days with the AI. It's like, no, we can't make you Spider-Man. No, that's a copyrighted character. I was like, what if you make me like Spider-Man? And then it kind of coaches you along the way. And I got a half-assed me as a Ninja Turtle. I'm like, okay, that's still kind of funny. I'm going to use it and put it on my show because I don't care.
Right.
But yeah, so I do use the Copilot feature for that one thing. It's just for animated Pete's. That's really all I use it for.
Okay. And it's able to keep consistency from.
Not really.
Okay. I was gonna say.
It's tricky. It's shaky. So that's why some nights I get into a rhythm and it's just like I think of something. I'm like, make me a Ghostbusters character. It's like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. That worked. I'm like, wait a second. Change the name tag to Renna. And they're like, okay. And then I did that. I'm like, cool. I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but I'm going to file it away for future use. Or I'll think of something like, or I'll ask it to make, when I had my, when I cracked a tooth, like I cracked a filling, I was like, show me having a toothache. And then it did it. I was like, hey, that's actually pretty good. I'm going to use that as my note to everybody. No show tonight. I got a toothache. And then it's a picture of me doing this. So I have used it for that. And it's kind of fun, but it is not consistent in any way. It is very tricky to get it to do what you want it to do. So when you get in that rhythm of when it is working, I try to ride it out. And sometimes I'll spend like an hour of just making things because it's working how I want it to.
Right.
Make me a 70s character, and it gives me like a afro or something, and the deep V shirt with the gold chains. I'm like, okay, make me an 80s break dancer, and then it's working. I'm like, okay. And then eventually it'll break and it starts to make the image like sideways. I'm like, why did you put me sideways? That don't make sense. What's with the extra finger? And then things just go off the rails. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'm done for tonight because it ain't working.
Right. You hit your limit.
Exactly. And that's the other two. They do have limits on things you can use it for.
What type of camera do you use? And do you edit in StreamYard? Do you editing or where do you?
I'll do most of the recording in StreamYard, but I'll use the Elements. Is that what it's called? Adobe Photoshop, and I think Elements is the video one. That's where I'll do the editing there for edits, at least. And again, I'm very limited in using. And then when I got I had to get a newer one when I got a newer laptop, like a newer version, and like they changed stuff, and I'm like, I don't really know how this one works yet. So I'm still kind of learning the newer version of the transitions and like. I don't know. The older ones seem more intuitive, but still learning. Camera wise, I think I got a Logitech Brio.
Okay, that's what I have.
And I got a blue mic, Yeti blue mic.
Okay.
I got an arm, but it keeps wanting to raise up, like it won't stay.
Okay.
The mic arm that I have, so that's why I have it just kind of on the ground or on the table in front of me, because the other one. I used to have it attached to this little desk setup that I got in front of me. It's like I got like a little portable folding desk in front of me with my laptop on it. And then I got my camera on a camera stand behind it. I got a little ring light next to that, kind of also on a camera stand to lights up the room how I kind of want it. I actually added this arm that has this separate monitor to this little table desk too. Wish I could take a picture so I could show you this setup. Because again, I don't mind showing this stuff because I try to show it. People are interested, I'll show it. But I got a separate monitor that I bought on sale so I could again see what's on the shared screen when I do my recorded stuff or even live shows. The live shows I would share the screen and we could play the games or do whatever we need to do, and I could still see like what the audience sees because I hate not knowing what they see because I don't know if things went wrong or if things got wonky or what. But yeah, so there's a lot of things on this tiny little desk, this little foldable Walmart table thing that I bought. That's just I have set up here, mostly angled to this corner, so it looks sort of presentable.
Yeah,
because otherwise you're just going to see short boxes upon short boxes of stuff. It's just it's a mess in here. It's like a hoarder's. It's
right.
I've showed pictures of the room before. People have seen it. It's just boxes.
Okay. So last question I got for you is, what advice would you give to someone wanting to start a comic book YouTube channel today?
Do it because you like it or love it. Don't try to do it to make money, because even though with the number of subscribers we have, yeah, the channel makes a little bit of money. No, this isn't a lifestyle.
Right.
Like, yeah, like
Well, no, it could be a lifestyle, not
it
a
could
good
be,
one.
but I've also seen some situations where it might not work out as well as you might hope. I mean,
Right.
you brought up Tom before. I know Tom's pretty consistent, but he's got his mail call. Like, he's not. I don't think he's relying on the YouTube for his thing. He's got his mail call, his subscription services, selling books for the most part. Uh, was a Gem Mint, but he had hundred thousands plus subscribers, right? Doing this omnibus thing and whatnot, and he bought a nice big house after it, and then things kind of turned, and then he couldn't keep up with it. So I wouldn't plan on quitting my job to do this. I hope to eventually get this to a point, maybe when I retire, it's something fun I can keep doing
Right.
afterwards. Like, I'm hoping I'll still be relevant in another. God, well, I probably can't retire anytime soon, but still, I hope that I can keep my channel relevant enough that somebody will still want to watch it.
Right.
Because I also know the ebbs and flows of this thing. There's rarely people that are still being watched decades, like a decade later. Like, it just doesn't really happen. But it's just fun for me. Like I said, this is the stuff that I like. This is my hobby. This is my spare time that I'm putting into this because I enjoy it. And
Right.
no one here at my house wants to hear it. So I tell you guys about it because no one else cares about the comic stuff.
Oh, I completely understand.
Yeah, it is what it is. But that would be my advice. Just don't try to do it to make money. Do it because you like it. Do it because you're having fun. Do it because you want to connect with people. Because that's the other thing. I like connecting and talking comics with people. I'll talk comics with anybody. Like I said, feel free. Send me a message. I may not be able to, call and talk on the phone with you all the time, but if you send me a message, I will reply because I'll get to it, when I see it. I just don't know when I might see it, but I love this stuff. So I got no problems having any conversation, giving advice. People ask me about, should I buy this book? And I'm never going to give just like an outright yes or no. I'm going to try to talk it through with you. It's like, well, is it something you really want? Like, the prices they're paying, like, can you afford it? Like, I'll do what I can, like, to kind of actually try to get people to be reasonable and responsible, because this is a hobby that is very tricky. There's a lot of sharks that will try to take advantage of you. There's a lot of people who will try to take advantage of your goodwill. There's a lot of people who will try to talk you into things that may not be the best option for you. Maybe fine for them, maybe fine for that guy over there, but your own personal situation, you got to think it through yourself, and you only have yourself to blame. I'm not going to point fingers and say terrible this, terrible that, but I just try to prepare people for that and just be aware of who's telling you something and why they're telling you something.
Right.
I think that's most important. Intention is very important to me. Like, why are they telling you about this book? Is it because they're selling it right now? Because that could be one sign that, well, maybe they're just trying to sell me this book, and maybe this isn't a good investment idea.
Right.
And that's the tricky bit, because while comics could be a good investment, I have yet to find something for me that works for myself. Honestly, I have a collector's mentality, so I buy more things than I need, and I buy more books than I could possibly read in a week or a month out of an OCD need to have them, and then try to figure out a way of how do I now get rid of them after I bought them, because I'm a collector by nature. So I'm not telling people to follow my lead. I already know my problems. Like, I overbuy way too many books. Like, I'm self-admitted. Like, I'm a comic book junkie and I buy more than I need. So don't be like me. I try to tell you to think things through, and that's why I try to talk myself into things too. Like, when I'm doing the show, I'm like, it's like, yeah, this seems like an interesting book. Well, maybe I'll try it. Maybe I won't. This new #1, and then I end up buying it anyway. Then I don't know what to do with it. It's just like, well, It's another one for the pile, I guess.
Borrower says comics as an investment is a losing proposition.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. I'm not saying there isn't a way to do it right. It's just I wouldn't pretend that I'm the one to tell you how to do it right. I can give you some things I think would make sense, but again, I'm a collector first, so that's always going to override any of my investment aspects of this game. And
I was going to say what he's saying right now, that at least on the current stuff, it's very risky. But you got your blue chip stuff that you could.
Yeah, but even with the current stuff, it's everything's been current. 10 years ago, that was the current stuff, and now those variants that people thought, oh, well, why would you buy variants? Some of them are worth hundreds and thousands of dollars, and some of them are not. So it's still it's a dicey thing. By and large, you just got to remember what's a conservative number? 95%, I would say. 95% of all comics are probably pretty worthless,
right?
To most people. Like, you're not going to get your just regular new release and just find anybody who like, oh, well, I always have this argument with my dad. He'd be like, oh, well, it's $10. It's like, why do you say it's $10? Because people have it listed on eBay for $10? Is anybody buying it for $10? Right. It ain't worth $10 if nobody's going to give you $10 for it.
Yeah.
It's like, just because one sold for $10, why are there 15 other people who listed for $10 not selling theirs for $10? If there's such a demand, $10. It is what it is. Like, there's a limited marketplace for a lot of these things, and a lot of it is fish eating each other.
Right.
Us as collectors, we're trading books, playing hot potato with some of these things, and it's like, who's going to get stuck with it last? And it is a dangerous game to play, especially with a lot of the newer stuff. And this, again, I don't want to turn this into a whole admonishment of like the exclusive market and things like that, but a lot of it ends up being like a hot potato. It's just, it is what it is. If you want to buy something, buy it because you want it.
Right.
Don't buy it to try to invest, because a lot of the manufactured rarity that we have these days is just that. It's manufactured. It's manufactured for a reason. They cost that much at the outset is because that's what they need to even break even, if they can sell most of these.
Right.
It's just, and then expecting that to increase in value over time, it falls into line with everything else. Most books are not worth anything over time. They may have their day in the sun, movie announcement, TV show. Ooh, Magenta's showing up on Green Arrow this week. So everybody grabs the first appearance of Magenta 1 week, and then nobody cares again. Like,
right.
It is what it is. Like, these weird, obscure DC characters, and books will spike. And I get it. It's fun. It's fun to buy. It's fun to invest. It's fun to play the game. But just remember, it's just over time, it's a losing proposition in most cases.
Yeah.
So do it because you love it.
Barlord says he always tells newbies to buy the titles you like, and the keys will come naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, always just buy the things you like. You don't want to. Why buy something if you don't like it? Just because somebody else tells you to? That's never a good idea. It's never a good idea. Like, because then you're gonna have ultimately you'll have a book you don't really want. So then you're gonna be looking for opportunities to get rid of it, and you'll probably get rid of it at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You'll be like, you know what? I got to cash out. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my shirt on this, and you'll get rid of it too early, or it'll tank, and then oops, somebody told me to buy this, and now I'm stuck with it.
But like Mark said earlier, if you don't wear shirts, you can't lose them.
I still think they'll take your pants.
All right. Well, this week I said that I was going to do a giveaway from my Ollie's Comic Pack video that I did. So it is that time. I had 4 people that left comments. And so I've got it all set up here. And now we're going to run it. So let's see who.
My dad grabs those Ollie's packs for me all the time.
Yeah. And it looks like JSS Brooklyn is the winner, and he picked Frazetta.
Well, you can't go wrong with Frazetta. Even if it's a reprint, it's still a Frazetta.
It was a Death Dealer. Here it is. Let me make it bigger.
Oh, nice.
That's what JSS Brooklyn won. Death Dealer. Frazetta. This is issue number 15. So congratulations, JSS. I'll shoot you a message on Instagram and get your address and send that to you. Thank you very much for that. Pete, so what do you got coming up on the Rennavision channel?
Well, as I mentioned, I got to do the watch list tomorrow. I got most of it planned out. I just got to make the deck tonight while watching TV, and then I'll probably record it at some point during the day tomorrow to get it out tomorrow night. If I got time, I might try to squeeze in one of those extra shows during the week. But if not, if I got time, I may hop in and hop on the tax show on Wednesday, one of the live shows that I used to go on, but maybe I'll hop on there. Bottom line is I'll have the Hot 10 on Friday, and then Qualified will also be on Friday. Saturday night, the boys will probably have a show, and Sunday will be Star Wars. And that's the basic setup of our lineup. And I have shorts planned to drop here and there. I just try to get content out where I can make it, because, like I said, I love this stuff. It's just fun talking about comics.
Very cool. For me, I'm going to do, I know I got to make a video about a sale that my LCS was having and the books that I picked up, what I was able to get for under $100. So that'd be a pretty cool one. Got like 33 books. They're back issues. They're doing buy two, get one free, anything between $3 and $6. So that's going to be a pretty cool video to get out. And then try to schedule some more of these for when I get back from vacation. So thank you very much.
I miss doing those pickup things. I miss doing those pickup type videos.
Yeah,
like I said, I didn't realize that was my first one. Now I'm curious. I'm gonna have to go back and see what else that I did early on.
All right. Well, Pete, thank you for being here. Chat, thank you for being here with us, enjoying all this. And JSS, I'll get this one out to you this week. And everybody, I hope that all of your issues are comics, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. Bye.